As you probably know, defining what is charisma and its effects is not an easy task. If you ask 100 psychologists or sociologists about what is charisma, you'll probably get 100 different answers. So before it can be developed and trained, it's important to understand its attributes and benefits. What exactly a charismatic person has that a non-charismatic person doesn't have? Observations done with over 200 charismatic individuals in all walks of life over a period of several years allow to distinguish 16 attributes they possess in a bigger or lesser degree. These 16 attributes are not present in the same levels on all charismatic individuals, although they must possess at least 8 of these 16 to be called charismatic. At the time of the present recording, there's not any other scale that can actually measure or even identify charisma. There's only a subjective feeling that either the person has or he hasn't. It's called the it factor because no one can actually define it. The 16 attributes are the result of a lengthy observation process. We focused only on external attributes, those that can be observed and constructed on our own scale to measure, on the best of our abilities, the traits of these charismatic persons. We have a whole process to measure and observe these traits. But for now, let's understand what you can possibly gain by being a charismatic and a magnetic person. First, we have the social attributes. These are the attributes that can be seen in the relationship with other people. How exactly do charismatic individuals differentiate themselves as to how they relate to others? The first attribute is influence and fascination. When most people think of a charismatic individual, they usually think of someone with a great power of influence. This is, in fact, one of the main attributes of charisma. A charismatic individual is able to influence and have an impact on those around him through powerful communication and projection skills. And sometimes, this power is so great that it's beyond influence. It's a state of fascination and allure that makes others do things they never thought they would do. Such is the case of several fascist and cult leaders. The second is communication. The communication ability of a charismatic person is excellent. This person can quickly establish rapport with anyone and adjust his communication style to those who he is in communication with. They can put you at ease and give you the chills just by using their gaze or saying a couple of words. In their communication, they can use several tools like the gaze, the voice, touch, personal space, and so on. We call these projection tools and will be discussed on a later chapter. The third is mind reading. It's not like a charismatic individual can really read your mind, but it's like they can. When speaking with a charismatic individual, it seems they can connect very deeply. Even though we can be talking to a crowd of thousands, it's like they are talking directly to you. Their social sensitivity is off the charts and can express in words what you are merely thinking of. It's like they are able to gauge other people's state of mind, whether through reading body language, to reading their energy, or simply using intuition. There are many methods and techniques to develop this attribute, but even if you deeply study body language and psychology, so you know very well what the other person might be thinking, you still need to be able to communicate in a way that touches him or her in order to become a charismatic attribute. The fourth is inspiration. A charismatic individual brings out something in others. He makes them feel and have strong emotions. It brings out a deeper part of them. This attribute can be used to bring out the best in others and generate a deep self-confidence and inner power. But it's often also used to let others identify with a particular cause or ideal and lose their own identity in the ideal of the charismatic leader. Now we'll have the personal attributes. These are the attributes that can be seen in their own psychology and the way they carry themselves. The first attribute is presence. A charismatic individual has a strong and commanding presence. He can be a leader anywhere he goes, and he directs the attention of everyone around him. This is heavily rooted in being present, as well as in projecting his own energy into the situations. If he is talking with you, he is really talking with you. It's the antithesis of being distracted or preoccupied or anxious. He is not easily swayed or pushed around. He really stands his ground. The second attribute is enigma. You cannot pinpoint or truly get to know a charismatic individual. It's like there's always other facets of them that remain hidden. Although this can be said about any person, not everyone can maintain this aura of enigma and mystery, where there seems to be always something left unsaid and a wanting to know more. The third is inner power. Although this doesn't always happen, A charismatic individual has a spiritual or a personal quality that gives a high degree of self-confidence, self-esteem, assertiveness, and gives that extra edge on how he looks and behaves in the world. It's his own internal compass and a source of strength. It's not based on his wealth, accomplishment, or good looks. It's an internal source of energy and strength, one that survives all the hardships and setbacks of life and allows to constantly have this sense of internal power. In the charismatic attributes, we connect the will to this inner power. Although internally they are divided, but for our own observation they are together. A strong will has been a building block of a charismatic individual. The will has an intimate connection with the core of its being. It enables this individual to decide what needs to be done, apply the necessary means for realization, and persist in the task in the face of all obstacles and difficulties. Then the fourth attribute is conviction or purpose. The charismatic individuals are well connected to their sense of passion or purpose, even if they don't have one and fully lives in a moment. On many individuals, this sense of purpose is what fuels their charisma. When it fails, for some reason, their charisma also fails. We, in CharismaSchool, warn students against it. It's good to have the sense of purpose and use this to fuel charisma and personal magnetism as long as the inner power is still well developed. In other words, if you didn't have this sense of purpose, would you still be able to maintain your inner power and conviction? Does your personality is solely affected by this purpose? It's important to be aware of its importance and use it as much as possible, but still understand its true value. The last set of attributes are the energetic attributes. These are the attributes that can be seen in their own specific energetic body. They naturally require training in order to be observed and measured. The first one is vitality. Vitality is different than outside looks or external appearances. It's also not related to how strong you are, although it can definitely influence it. It's the quantity and quality of your own internal energy. As you develop and fine-tune this magnetic energy, it also increases the quality of your day-to-day life. Vitality automatically produces a good effort in someone. It's like you can do more and achieve more. There's more available energy to spend as you see fit. Sometimes this vitality is fueled by convictions or passion. Other times, it's their very energetic makeup that generates it. Secondly, we have large and bright aura. The energetic blueprint of a charismatic individual is typically very bright and big. It's luminous and stands out. It's like they are always reaching out to others. Their personal space encompasses everyone around them. That's why a charismatic individual stands out in a way that no one can really describe. This gives them their larger-than-life kind of effect. Thirdly, we have sexual magnetism. Although it doesn't happen with all the charismatic individuals, some individuals develop sexual magnetism to a high degree. This has the consequence of being able to sexually attract others at will. It creates a sexual aura that seems to elicit sexual feelings in others and draw them to the person. Many sexual magnetic individuals were born this way, others were made. This sexual magnetism can be generated through energetic, social, or psychological means. There will be more details on this on another set of videos. Finally, we have the turnaround effect. Once a charismatic individual enters the room, those already in the room seem to sense its presence and turn around to look at him. This is a measurable observation that some charismatic individuals seem to have. It doesn't happen every single time, but it happens if the energies are at its peak. Now you know the 16 attributes of charisma. This is what you can develop by transforming yourself into a magnetic person. For more information on charisma and personal magnetism, visit CharismaSchool.com. We specifically have courses which focus on different topics of charisma. A course for personal magnetism, sexual energy, and the whole magnetic gate system that is being made available. Visit CharismaSchool.com for more information.